Hey everybody, this is Darkside Elite. I wanted to make a video here before I have to leave for a couple of for a couple of hours to talk about some pretty exciting news. This is some real good news from what I'm hearing and I saw on my trending and Twitter and Facebook and all over social media. It seems that we are going to get Ezra Miller as the Flash. I've talked about this back earlier in June, later in June, about is he gone, and you can look at that video. I'll link that video down below. But I, from what we're hearing, it seems that this that it's gonna happen. That they're gonna move forward with Ezra Miller as the Flash, and um, they're not going to go with Goldstein and Daley. That's one of the big pieces that we're hearing, that there's conflicts of interest and creative differences between the actor and the directors. I said this before. I say that WB should invest in Ezra Miller. Goldstein and Daley are dime a dozen directors, and I'm not saying that they're bad. I'm just saying that's what they are. They're dime a dozen directors, but someone who's shown this much dedication, this much love for the character, that's one in a million, and they don't want a revolving door on these characters. They already had a lot of backlash about Ben Affleck not playing Batman. Now there's talks about Henry Cavill not coming back because they want to go with a different Superman. They want to present Supergirl more and see if that attracts the audience. I'll talk about that in another video. I think it's a bad idea that they should do that. However, this is about the Flash. This is about Ezra Miller and him being the Flash, and they are in talks with one director I'm very, very happy with, and they are gonna go with the man who did this movie. It this is phenomenal news to me. This is actually really cool. I love this movie. This movie has I love the 90s version. I still love it. It is corny. It's a TV movie with a TV budget, but Tim Curry playing as Pennywise was very, very charming. He was laughable. You could laugh at the silliness he was doing. You had Harry Anderson and John Ritter and Tim Reed. You had all these pretty much, I would say, at the peak of their acting prowess, some of the best actors of that generation playing in this movie. And a lot of them, fell to obscurity, but there's still you could still know who they are, and that's what I liked about the movie. Now, I cannot pronounce this man's name, but I'm gonna call him Andy. That's his first name. His name is Andy, and he made a phenomenal piece of work with the budget of $35 million. He made this movie so great and so believable that the actor playing as Pennywise is contorting and twisting, and he's scary and charming and everything that a clown is, but there was just something malicious about it. And I don't want to get into it because I'm gonna kind of do how I'm gonna do my videos. A little bit later, I'm gonna do a little bit of a better format. Right now, I'm just doing some videos to get my name out there and get people to watch. But this is phenomenal news, and I think that a lot of people should be very, very happy that they're in talks with a director, and he's a New Line Cinema director. He's a horror director, and I know how people are gonna feel about that. I know how people are gonna feel like, oh, they're gonna go with a dark Flash movie. No, 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 no. As I said before, Barry Allen's life is marred in tragedy, and you can't ignore that. You cannot ignore that. Just because you saw the TV show does not mean that the movie should just push that to the side. Um, his whole life has been marred in the fact that he could never find the person who murdered his mother. So this director, his name is Andy. I kind of find it funny that they're using in the middle the Wally West Flash as Flash. It kind of makes me chuckle. Now the woman on the right hand side of the screen, that's from what I'm hearing, that's the woman who wrote Bumblebee and Birds of Prey. I think her name is Cynthia Hodson. Um, I liked Bumblebee. I thought the movie was actually very good. She wrote it very, very well. Um, it just to me felt like it was a complete reboot. But other than that, I'm not saying that the movie was terrible. I'm just saying that for what they were presenting it to be. But she did a good job with it. She made Bumblebee feel like he was real, and the relationship between him and the girl was very, very believable. Like she was the Sam Witwicky for that movie, and did a really good job of it. Now, I don't know how she's gonna do Birds of Prey. It could be a hot mess. It could be really, really bad. She could be doing a lot of woman power and this and that in a movie. But we can't. I'm not gonna assume that until we see the movie. But if they're in talks with her to pin a script through Ezra Miller's story treatment, then I think that will get her a lot of praise, because if she can hit out of the park with Birds of Prey, and then on top of that with The Flash, and do that very, very well, then holy crap. I mean, then I would lock this writer down. I mean, I would have her on a few other projects to get her name a little bit more out there. And this director, Andy, yes, he doesn't have a huge resume like Goldstein and Daley, but he's proven himself to make quite possibly a movie that made, I mean, literally over 10 times, no, close to 20 times its budget. It made $700 million. That is a ridiculously good success. So but the thing is that Andy was very, very he loves that movie, and he loves that book. So from some of the behind the scenes of the movie, he said that he had a lot of appreciation for what Stephen King was doing, and he loves that, and he loves what they did for the 90s. He loved that 90s movie himself. So I don't know his take on the Flash. I don't know if he really likes the Flash. I don't know if he likes the type of story that Ezra Miller is doing. But if they're in talks, that means that he must have looked at what Ezra Miller's treatment. He must have looked at it with Grant Morrison. So if that's the case, and he says that he's in talks, that means he must really like it. Because no director is going to take a movie if he doesn't like the script and he wants to try to completely rehash it. No, I don't think he's going to do that. But to me, this is phenomenal news. This is really good. I'm very, very happy. I'm still gonna hold my reserve until I hear that he's locked in and he wants to do it. He knows how to work with. He knows how to build relationships. We saw that in It. He built those kids to have a strong relationship, and he let kids be kids. So we don't know how he's going to present Barry Allen. How is he going to take what Snyder did? Is he going to rehash it in something a little bit different? But either way, I think a lot of fans should be very, very happy that they're getting a director that is proven himself to make a very strong movie, and he made over 20 times its budget. So if that's the case, then you should be all in on this. You should really say, hey, this is great. Now, I did go on my Twitter that night when I saw this, and a couple of people were very excited. They were very happy. Some people said, oh, they got the director who did It. Okay, that seems really cool. That means they're going to go in a kind of a different direction. Now, there was one, I'm not going to point him out, but he is on my Twitter, and he voiced that he wanted Goldstein and Daley, that he's tired of this flip-flopping, they should just move forward with the Flash. And this is an individual that says that he loves the Flash. He has a YouTube channel. He speaks about the Flash a lot. Again, I'm not going to voice him out. He can have his own personal opinion. However, if he says he loves the Flash and they got a director that does horror, then that means, and he's proven himself to be a strong director. Goldstein and Daley hasn't proven themselves to be strong directors. They do more comedies, and there's nothing wrong with a comedy, but The Flash is not a comedy type of movie. It shouldn't be, because if you're going to make The Flash into another version of Spider-Man, that's a disservice to Flash, because Goldstein and Daley haven't proven themselves to be very, very strong directors that can make a very, very strong type of movie, and they've already stated that the type of movie they wanted to create, and it kind of bothers me a little bit. Now, sorry, but but if they move forward with this, and they move forward with Andy to do this director, and they go with Christina Hodgins as the writer, and they do Ezra's story treatment and his version of the script, and they're very, very happy and they're solid with it, then we should be very happy with it. We should just basically give a high five and let this director play, because in all honesty, if you watch the trailer for It Chapter 2, it seems like it just feels like he just kept going with whatever he was doing. So to me, it's this other movie's gonna be solid, it's gonna be just as solid. So I don't. The only part to me is they said they're gonna put in one of the key scenes from the books. I'm kind of nervous about that because I don't know how the fans are going to react to it. Me personally, I don't care. I just want to see how they're going to end this movie, and are they going to end it on a very, very strong note? And if he moves forward to do the Flash, then I'm in it, because I'm still stoked about Matt Reeves wanting to do his Batman. I have reserves. I'm very happy with Patty Jenkins doing Wonder Woman. I want James Wan to do Aquaman 2. I want Andy to do the Flash. If they could do a solid movie and the Flash is solid, and and ignore what the fans are talking about and all these critics, and get these fans excited about the movie, and forget the haters, and build their brand the way they need to build their brand, instead of trying to pick up the scraps from Marvel, then their movies are gonna be solid. Who cares? I mean, Marvel did their thing, and now they have to rebuild, because they killed off I'm sorry, spoilers, they killed off Iron Man, Captain America's gone, Black Widow is dead, Hawkeye is probably not going to be an Avenger anymore because he's going to want to be with his family. The Hulk he's Professor Hulk now. Thor is gone. He's in space trying to figure out his own life again. So you basically broke up the Avengers. You got to set up a brand new Avengers, and you're setting it up with Brie Larson. And there's a lot of people that do not like Brie Larson with her statements and how she's presenting herself and her brand, and how she wants to do the DCEU, and how the MCU, and how the MCU is going to be doing things. A lot of people are very turned off. They don't find her very charismatic. They feel that she's force fed. It's just a mess right now. So Marvel right now is rebuilding. DC does not need to rebuild anything. They just need to put out solid movies and build from that, because DC has already been in pop culture for close to 40 years. So there's no reason for them to have to extend out the courtesy to any fans, because they've been there. They've had TV shows and cartoons and live action for years and years. Marvel has been honestly on the vice versa. That's what's going on with the movie section. They've been on the coattails of DC. So right now, DC doesn't have to do anything. WB does not have to do anything. Just make solid movies. That's my personal opinion. Just make solid movies. Forget the haters. They're gonna hate. That's what they do. They want things the way they want it. Listen, I was part of the whole situation of, give it to me now with Marvel. But now I'm like, you know what? Do what you got to do. Make your money. Make that green. But and I'll see what it is, and if I don't like it, I'll reserve it to myself, and I'll go and not watch the movie. But I'm not gonna be a blind fan to go watch a movie just because a superhero slapped on the label, and I should be very happy about it. That's not how it should be. That's not how it should be. We should all critique these movies fair and honest, and if you say it's hot trash, another person says it's actual gold, that's what the catchphrase of another man's treasure is another man's trash, another man's treasure. So I mean, that's what it is. A lot of people love bad movies. There have been tons of bad movies out there, and a lot of people love them. Case in point, for me, a bad movie is Black Dynamite. I love that movie. It's phenomenal. It is what it is. But that movie is bad. It's a bad movie. It makes fun of blaxploitation and kung fu flicks all in one go. But that's what he wanted to do, and he wanted to have fun doing it, and he had fun doing it. All the actors and actresses in there had fun doing it, and it was great. So I understand how people react to it. But when it comes to superhero films, Everyone's just getting hyped up and happy about them just doing something, but they're not being fair to it. They're not being critiqued to it. Or people are already turning off from it because they're tired of the behind the scenes, except that we got solid directors that want to do these films, but people are already turned off because they don't, because there's nothing being done with it. So to me, Andy, this director right here, he's proven himself. He's made a very solid movie. He's gonna make another solid movie with a great cast, and he's gonna do a phenomenal job with it. I loved the first It movie. It was great, and I still love I forgot his first name, but Sarsgaard, I love him as Pennywise. He's great, and I think that he if you bring him to DCU, he could be a great person in the DCU. He could do Plastic Man. He could be that character. He's funny. He could do wacky stuff with his body that most people can't do, and he's willing to do it. He's willing to have fun, and I think that if DC literally looks at it and say, hey, this actor could do the things that in this movie, like twist and contort his body in ways, then heck, he could play this character, and he has that long face and lanky body, so it's very, very easy for them to bring in Sarsgaard as Plastic Man and move forward with it and turn it into basically almost like another Shazam movie and make it family and wholesome. But anywho, to me, I personally like what they're doing. I think that they could do a phenomenal job with this. I cannot wait. But we're gonna have to see, because this director right now is on this director is just in talks, and if he gets signed and he's gonna do it, then we should be in on it. And if this and if the people on Twitter are not with it, then hey, just shrug them off, just ignore them and move forward with people that are going to be excited. Ezra Miller hasn't really been talking about it, so that means that he's concentrating on Fantastic Beasts, and that's good. Let him concentrate on that, and then give a great performance to the ending of that trilogy. But for this director, I think we should just hold off to see how chapter 2 does. If you didn't like it, don't judge him because you didn't like it. Look at it as a fair movie. Was it a good movie? Was it entertaining? And that's how you should look at it. And I'll say this, and I'll say this always. I don't go into Marvel movies hating each movie. I go into it judging the movie how it needs to be judged. Captain Marvel to me was a mediocre movie, but it was a terrible comic movie. Endgame was a good movie, but it was a terrible comic movie in my personal preference of what I wanted for 10 years of buildup. There was a lot of things that I didn't like. But I'm going to leave it here. I don't want to talk very much about it, but hey, like, comment, subscribe, and share to your friends. I want to talk about this. I think this is a very good this is very good. This is good news, because this director has proven himself. Goldstein and Daley have not proven themselves yet to the casual audience. They can make a solid movie. They can make a funny movie that everyone's gonna like. But like I said again, and I'll say this always again, when you try to make something for everybody, not everybody likes it. Stop making it for everybody. Just tell a story and build your niche audience. So you're going to get those fans are going to come in and say, hey, I like this movie. And that's what's going to be great about it. So I'm going to leave it there. I hope you guys enjoy. But hey, at the bottom, I will put down the some of the links when I look them all up. And I'll even do a couple of links from my previous post about the Ezra Miller situation. And I think that they're moving forward with Ezra Miller. That's great news. So, hey, let's talk about this. I'm stoked. Talk to you guys later. Bye.